welcome to another vodcast episode of Don't Worry About the Government. I'm Roni Weiss. With me today is Romney.
Shit, man. Dude, seriously, shit, Romney. That's all I have to say at this point.
I know, but I don't feel that way. I thought by now I would be sick of talking about this guy, but he just is such a jackass. Before, I really thought that he was a sort of nice, boring guy. But now I think he's kind of a conceited asshole. Kind of meaning he's a conceited asshole. So today's story is he claims that he has paid at least 13% in taxes for the last 10 years. Quote, I did go back and look at my taxes, and over the past 10 years, I never paid less than 13%. I think the most recent year is 13.6 or something like that. I pay taxes every single year. So this is regarding Harry Reid's claim that Romney has not paid taxes for the past 10 years, which was given to Harry Reid by somebody who is not known to the public and is claimed to be an anonymous
Bain
investor. Okay, so what do you make of this story?
Well, I saw this story today, and the thing that immediately stuck in my craw was the fact that Mitt Romney has all of his tax returns right there in his campaign headquarters, and they went over them enough so that they actually have details on the percentage and the rate that he paid, which is 13% or so. We'll talk about the rate in a second here. It really bothers me that they have all the tax returns there, and they're not going to release them to the American people. On some level, this election and Romney is no longer, for me, about Mitt Romney being a really bad candidate or the Republicans or any of that other stuff. It's actually what's wrong with our system. And him not being willing to release the tax returns, it's a little bit of a contempt for the democratic process in general.
Yeah. Well, okay, so his claim is that he, if you take into account all of the charity he's done, really how does that even make sense? Like, that's not a tax rate charity. So he's giving
charity
away
isn't a tax.
He's giving away a lot of his income because he's giving things to charity. Like, I mean, a lot of Americans don't itemize, right? So their charity contributions, and I assume a lot of Americans are giving those, are not going to be within their taxes and will not break down in such a way that they will pay less taxes. Is that correct? I mean, you're better at econ than I am.
I think that's right. I mean, and also I think that calling what he's referring to as charity, I think in a large part is his tithing to the church, which I think is a very confusing way to look at what you're doing in regards to your religion.
So you don't even think that's charity?
It's something a little bit. It's a little bit different.
Tithing is 10%, right?
Yeah.
So 10% plus 13%. Let me do my math. 23%.
Sure.
So that's really his argument, you think? So something he has to do as part of his religion to him is charity, and you don't buy that as being actual charity.
Not in the same way. No. No,
okay.
Not this. Yeah. No, that's not charity in the same way.
So immediately related to this, there's this Atlantic. Is this just on the blog?
I think it's just like kind of a blog posting. They snipped a quote.
Okay, so this is about his better half, and I think with Mitt, that's probably an accurate term. Did Ann Romney really call Americans, quote, you people this morning? Ugh. And let me just answer, no, she did not. She's referring to the media, I think, is really what it's about. She has an interview with a woman from ABC News, who is Robin Roberts, and she says, we've given you people, which is the interviewer, which is the lamestream media, all the ammunition they need as of now for the taxes. That's the whole point. But, Chris, you pointed out there's this other quote. Do you have it up? You want to read it? Or
yeah. Okay, so there's this other quote here that Ann goes on to say, which is, you should really look at where Mitt has led his life and where he's been financially. He's a very generous person. We give 10% of our income to our church every year. That's where I got the church equals charity argument anyways. Yeah. Do you think that he is the type of person who is trying to hide things or do things?
Let's go back. So this is the big quote. And that do you think
that he is the kind of person who is trying to hide things or do things? No.
First of all, that's all we need. First of all, do things? Why does she add that? Do you think he's trying to do things? No, clearly not. And if he is trying to do things, he sucks at doing things. That's been clear.
It depends on what he's doing.
But is he trying to hide things? That, Ann Romney, the answer is yes, he is. And people justify that. People on the right justify that he's trying to hide things. But there is no question that he is trying to hide things. He does not want people to see his tax records. He is hiding. He is not letting people see his tax records. You know what? When you're playing poker, you hide your cards. And this is actually a fairly fair metaphor, I think. You do not show people cards. And within poker, that is a reasonable strategy. If you want to argue that this is a reasonable strategy, that's fine. But it's still a strategy, and you're still hiding.
And there's a different analogy I want to make here. This would be like back when the OJ trial was going on, if Johnny Cochran came out for the defense and said, do you really think that OJ Simpson, star of the football field and movies, would really try to kill someone? Really? You think OJ would be that kind of guy? Yes. In this case, yes. This is exactly what's the issue here, man.
It's ridiculous. He is trying to hide it clearly.
Yes.
And he has plenty of reasons to.
And we wouldn't be asking the questions anyways if we didn't think he was the type of person who's trying to hide stuff.
And if he didn't have legitimate reasons to do it. I mean, he does. But the question is, are his legitimate reasons, I don't know if I want to put it in quotes or not, but what his reasons, let's just take out the adjective. Are his reasons enough to balance out the public interest? And the answer, I think, is no.
One last addendum to this. David Simon, the creator of The Wire, which is, as you guys have probably heard on the show, my favorite TV show by leaps and bounds, he came out and had a comment on this today where he observed, he said, so Mitt Romney's saying that he's paid 13% in taxes. What are we supposed to do? Applaud him for his great civic, responsibility here? He's admitting that he's using legal loopholes to pay less than pretty much everyone else does, and the average American. So at the end of the day, how proud can you really be?
Outrage. That's what I demand. Don't worry about the government. We are an audio podcast. We are this video thing. Whether we're on YouTube that you're seeing us, on Blip TV, or hopefully you've subscribed to us on iTunes to see the podcast as well, which is now an option. That's what we do. That's who we are. You can find our website at don'tworry.tv. Wherever you're watching us, if you can rate us, review us, comment, let us know. You can email us at contact@don'tworry.tv. We look forward to hearing from you. Anything else? Shit, Romney.
You said it wrong. It's shit, Romney. Follow me on Twitter at Chris, ChrisNovembrino. Say hello,
I'm Ronnie Weiss. You can find me all over. And say hi to Chris's cat. That's all we got. Tell us what you want us to talk about. Otherwise, we'll do whatever we want to talk about. Bye-bye.